Finding a wife for Isaac. God had promised Abraham the land of Canaan, a huge family, and to bless the whole world through Abraham's family. When Abraham was old, he decided to find a wife for his son Isaac, so that they could trust and serve and love the Lord together. Abraham sent for his best servant. "I do not want my son to marry any of the local Canaanites," Abraham explained. "I am sending you to where I used to live. You will find a good wife for Isaac there, someone who trusts the Lord so they can serve the Lord together." "But," the servant said, "what if she does not want to come back with me? Will I have to take Isaac to her?" "If she's unwilling to come back," Abraham replied, "then your task is finished. God has promised to give this land to my descendants. Isaac will stay here." The servant collected 10 camels and loaded them with provisions. Then he set off for Aram Naharaim in Mesopotamia, where Abraham's brother Nahor lived. When he arrived, he stopped outside the city and made his camels kneel down close to a well. Then the servant prayed in faith, "Lord God, when the women come to the well, I will ask them for a drink. If one says, 'Drink, and I'll water your camels too,' let her be the one you have chosen for your Isaac." The servant was trusting the Lord. While he was praying, a woman called Rebekah came to the well. She was carrying a water pot on her shoulder. The servant asked Rebekah for a drink. She quickly lowered the jar and gave him a drink. Then she offered to draw water for the camels as well. She was a kind woman. The servant watched as Rebekah went back and forth from the well to fill a trough for the camels to have a drink as well as him. When she had finished, he took out 2 gold bracelets for her. "Who are you?" the servant asked. "I'm Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel," she replied. The servant was pleased. This meant Rebekah was related to Abraham. He bowed his head and worshipped God. The Lord was in control and guiding him on his journey. "Praise be to the Lord, the God of my master Abraham," the servant exclaimed. "He has led me to the family of Abraham." Rebekah was living with her brother Laban and his wife. When Laban heard about the servant's arrival, he came running to him. Laban was so happy to meet Abraham's servant and so pleased when he saw the gifts the servant had brought him. "Come," said Laban, "you are blessed of the Lord. I have room for you and your camels, and I will prepare a meal for us all." The servant explained why he had come, to find a wife for Abraham's son Isaac, so that they could serve and trust the Lord together. He told them all about God's promises to Abraham to give him the land of Canaan and a large family, and to bless the whole world through his family. Then the servant brought out gold and silver jewelry and gifts of fine clothes as gifts for Rebekah. He also gave expensive gifts to Laban and also to Rebekah's mother. The next day, Rebekah agreed to leave her home, to leave her country, and to go with Abraham's servant on a long journey to meet Isaac, her future husband. Rebekah trusted the Lord. Isaac was sitting and thinking about God and praying when he saw the camels and his servant appear. He ran towards them. "Who is that?" asked Rebekah. "That's Isaac," the servant replied. Rebekah quickly covered her face, as was the custom in her culture in those days. Abraham's servant then explained to Isaac all that had happened and how the Lord had guided him to Rebekah in such a clear and remarkable way, and how Rebekah had trusted the Lord and left her home to come to Canaan. Soon after this, Isaac and Rebekah were married. Abraham's prayers had been answered, and the prayers of Abraham's servant as well, to help him find a wife for Isaac, they were also answered. God can be trusted. He is in control. Isaac really loved Rebekah, and they later gave birth to two twin boys called Esau and Jacob. If you want to read this story in the Bible this week, you can find it in the book of Genesis, the first book in the Bible, and chapter 24.